It was, without question, the biggest tabloid scandal in years. Jeff Bezos having an affair that would ultimately cost him half his fortune. And how the National Enquirer broke that story remains under investigation. Here's my report. Federal prosecutors are escalating their probe into two serious allegations stemming from the National Enquirer's disclosure of an affair between Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Los Angeles TV personality Lauren Sanchez. One, the charge by Bezos that the Enquirer's parent company, American Media, Inc., tried to blackmail him into dropping his own inquiry into how the Enquirer obtained naked photos and intimate texts by threatening to publish the pictures, which the company has strongly denied. Two, Bezos' belief that the Saudi government obtained the photos and texts by illegally gaining access to his phone, a claim that AMI has called false and unsubstantiated, and which has also been denied by the Saudi regime. In his first television interview, I spoke exclusively to Michael Sanchez, Lauren Sanchez's brother and a Hollywood talent manager who was denied being paid $200,000 in the leak to the Enquirer. Michael, I have credible reporting that the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York has convened a grand jury that is taking testimony in this federal investigation of Jeff Bezos' charge that he was blackmailed by American media and also the alleged hacking by the Saudi government. What can you tell me about that probe, and have you testified in the investigation?
I will cooperate with any of the investigations into the blackmail allegations against AMI and the hacking allegations against the Saudis. And one point that I want to make is that all of the investigations thus far have cleared me of any involvement in the below-the-belt selfies, which are the centerpiece of all of the investigations.
I've seen material indicating that Sanchez has, in fact, testified before the grand jury. I pressed him about his much-debated role in the leak to the National Enquirer. Michael, did you strike some kind of secret deal with American Media, Inc. to sell photos of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez to the National Enquirer?
Howie, I've never sold a photo to the National Enquirer or any publication. Let's cut to the chase. Everything that I did was to protect Jeff and Lauren's love affair. And anyone who thinks money was the motive is an idiot.
Well, you had told me that you made a deal with the devil being the Enquirer, but you've been kind of cagey about whether or not there was any contract or whether you accepted money from the National Enquirer. Did you or not?
Well, like I've said, since CNN reported that there are federal investigations into the blackmail allegations against AMI and the hacking allegations against the Saudis, what I can say is very limited. But in general, all agents and publicists make deals with the devil.
Back in March, the Wall Street Journal reported, and I'm quoting here, Michael Sanchez sold the billionaire's secrets for $200,000 to the National Enquirer. Your response?
The Wall Street Journal got it wrong.
It was back in April when CNN reported that Bezos planned to meet with prosecutors. An Amazon spokesman declined to comment. I can also report that the top American media executives, owner David Pecker, President Trump's pal, and Dylan Howard, have not been called to testify. But prosecutors have obtained evidence from the company that its executives believe shows they were not extorting Bezos but negotiating a settlement with his team. Once he learned of the affair, Michael Sanchez had rather low expectations when he first met the world's richest man.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to like him because it would have made all of our lives much simpler. But when I met him, he was charming, brilliant, loved flying, and everyone in our family is pilots, so we had a lot to talk about. And most importantly, he was deeply in love with Lauren.
Sanchez told me Bezos asked for his help.
Absolutely. He said that he didn't think the Amazon PR team was equipped to handle this kind of story.
With Jeff and Lauren still married to their spouses, him to Mackenzie Bezos and her to top Hollywood agent Patrick Whitesell, Michael Sanchez says he advised them to lay low. But as when Lauren Sanchez was near Bezos when his Blue Origin company launched a rocket, the couple didn't always take his advice.
I was definitely annoyed because the risks that they were taking made everything much more difficult in terms of keeping things contained.
Did it lead to any exposure or to any tabloid inquiry?
Yes, multiple tabloids were onto the story. And so the plan was, if they had credible information, we would offer them the exclusive in terms of the Super Bowl commercial and the documentary to kind of get them off of the track.
That was the Super Bowl ad featuring another Bezos property, the Washington Post. Sanchez says he got the Inquirer to delay the expose for months by brokering a harmless photo of his sister that ran in AMI's Us Weekly. The company has said it published when the story was ready. Bezos has said the Post's aggressive reporting on the Saudi government's involvement in the brutal murder of Post contributor Jamal Khashoggi may have led that country to hack his phone. AMI had published a magazine filled with pro-Saudi propaganda, one the Saudis say they were unaware of. Once the Inquirer story hit, Sanchez suggested a new plan.
In terms of their first public appearance, my idea was that they would go out for burgers wearing jeans and baseball caps and just make it very low-key and show the world that they're happy together.
People magazine was tipped off for a photo of that New York outing. But the couple last month made an extremely public appearance, 3 rows behind the Royals at Wimbledon. The tabloids are still filled with gossip, not all of it accurate. The New York Post Page 6 reported this week that Bezos met Lauren's parents. Actually, her mother was on vacation and didn't make the reported rendezvous.
I've been managing Lauren since the day she came home from the hospital. And through the highest of highs and lowest of lows, I've always been there to do whatever she needs and to protect her whenever she needs protection.
And we'll keep you posted on this federal investigation and the coverage of this story.